Hello there, Warhammer friends. This is Remington Steele, and I'm following up a first Age of Sigmar battle report between myself, Remington, and Andy 2D6, and featuring Pezapoo. So there's Andy 2D6 with his pesky dwarves at the back there, and these are my Beastmen. Now, if you want to see what happens in this battle report, turn by turn, you go to Andy 2D6's channel. This is the second part. So basically, they're the two armies lining up, my Beastmen, and there were some grudges that got settled there between an Ungor and a Dwarf engineer, and the Ungors managed to get to the objective there. And what happens is that sets off a celestial event. But the thing is, none of these dwarves or beastmen know exactly what that event is. But this is how the game ended. But the event started, the celestial event. And in there was Vandus Hammerhand. He was the first unit to appear, controlled by Pezapoo. And there's another example of his wonderful painting skills. And the second one was the Lord Relictor to deep strike onto the battlefield. So third to arrive are his three retributors with those big double-handed hammers, and he has to go. They have to get that objective where the giant is, which is a crypt, and also claim the watchtower objective as well. In his way are those centaurs behind the wall and the giant. So Pezapoo's got a little bit of a conundrum here because his forces are spread out and he has to touch those two objectives at the end of a turn. But they are spread out and he's got the dwarves and the surprised beastmen in his way. So these guys face up to the easy-looking target of the Ungors, and they shoot at those guys and probably I think they get a wound off him actually, which is unbelievable for Ungors. And behind the dwarf Iron Drakes, you have some more liberators there, and they're so far away, anything could happen to them. So yes, a dwarf a liberator takes a wound, even though they've got a 4-up save, and the Minotaurs at the top come into Vandus Hammerhand. And let's see who's got the biggest hammer in that battle. And now the giant decides to leave his objective and just stride forward with his movement of 7. And I think he decides to walk over and then charge in the charge phase, so he can get right into them. And you can see them that they've already lost a man there. That's probably to the dwarven Anvil of Doom, which shoots off one of those. And the Iron Drakes turn round. I think they're going to melt some Liberator armour because they can't move because they've literally just appeared. Malagor from the Beastmen goes right into the Lord Relictor, who's the only model in the Stormcast Eternal Sides who's able to heal back wounds, and that is going to be vital to his success because they are going to take wounds, but unfortunately Malagor's got a nice D3 wounds when he manages to get a wound through, and just to make sure he casts Viletide on him in the hero phase just before that as well. So that's the Lord Relictor out, and the Minotaurs come in, and they want to have a hammer fight there, and one of them smacks one right on their head, and actually takes 3 wounds off him, which was quite delightful actually. But we'll see what happens in return. But the next combat that gets chosen is this one over here. We've got the Centaurs that have waded in to those Retributors as well. So let's see what happens in that one. Oh, that's what happens. The giant promptly stuffs one of the Retributors into his bag, which is a fantastic special ability of the giant, because if you basically you double the wounds of the character and you have to roll that amount or more to be able to use this ability, and they've only got 2 wounds I think, or maybe 3 wounds, but I rolled a 6 in any case, so that was hilarious. 1 down straight off, and then the giant swings with his mighty club of 3d6 attacks with a -1 rend, and I think he needs 4s and 3s, 4s to hit and 3 to wound, so that promptly gets rid of another one really quickly. And the Iron Drakes just simply turn round and flame off those liberators. So anyone thinking that these stormcast Eternals are have a divine special ability, you're sorely mistaken. And Pezapu saw that to his saw that in full glory there. So you see some of Andy 2d6's sort of defensive tactics. He'd put his iron breakers in front of the iron drakes there. So if the Stormcast guys manages to get in, they'd have to get through them iron breakers, which is so difficult because they have an incredible saving throw. Very hard to get anything through on them guys. So Vandus's dragon-like steed kills one Minotaur, and then Vandus swings over his own storm hammer to the final Minotaur before he can bring down his own warhammer. And Vandus's hammer is devastating and easily dispatches that poor last Minotaur. So these poor Ungor raiders, they get attacked by the liberators on this side, and that should be a pretty easy battle for those liberators to dispatch those Ungor. So yeah, I think the giant, the giant stuffs another one of these guys in his bag, and that was brilliant. So he's now stuffed 2 of these double-handed weaponed guys in his bag, and finally the prosecutors come on. These are like the winged angels, and they can throw hammers as well as fly. So Malagor is still alive, but he's only got 2 wounds left over there. He tries to do actually it's not his face, he's done his vile tide, hasn't he? Oh, that's it. Yeah, they all go wading in to poor Malagor there, so don't really fancy his chances against them guys, especially with only 2 wounds left. So you can see how the Beastmen have finished their turn, and now it's the Stormcast Eternal, and because Vandus has dispatched those Minotaurs, he can now turn around and go wading into Malagor to really polish off this side of the table. And the unfortunate thing about the Beastmen is they've got no way of being able to heal wounds back, so that's an overview there. You can see the giant is turning his attentions to the centre of the board, because what's going on there is that Malagor has been trampled on by the prosecutors, and they're busy hammering away down at his filthy, encrusted, crow-feathered body. And over here, yeah, some beasts, the Ungors have been completely annihilated, and the final Ungor half-horn raider just shouts at them like that before he runs away in his battle shock. So it looks like this side of the table, the objective is complete, except the giant manages to get in during the Beastmen turn phase and promptly picks up another one of these prosecutors, well, the first prosecutor in this case, and stuffs him in the bag as well. So that's him swatting him out of the air, just like a fly, really. So I love giants in this Age of Sigmar. They're so much fun, as you can see. 3 combat phases, and he's just killed 3 like that. So there's only one of them prosecutors left, and so the objective of the Beastmen and the Dwarves is to kill Vandus Hammerhand, and if they manage to do that, it is game over. So the Centaurs come in over that side, and I think they actually manage to finish him off with their attacks. And that's the end of the game. So it was wonderful fun. I love the attack system. Is choosing when you can attack, and I think it's a win for everyone here, and a win for the giant and the Beastmen and the Dwarves, and a win for all of us. That's Pezapu in the middle, Andy 2d6, really toy in real life, and me, Remington Steele, out. Hope you enjoyed, guys.